5.
For God's sake, where is she? Come on, Amy, pick up. Hello and welcome to the 411 show. On tonight's show, we will be discussing whether YouTube is the future or the death of TV. I'm one of your hosts today, and the other one, she's running a bit
It's
late.
okay, don't worry, I'm here, just in time.
What happened to you and what are you wearing?
I was just doing some last minute research before the show. I had to brush up on my knowledge for today.
You overslept, didn't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Moving on, for such a serious question, we needed to go out and find the bald men in suits, the professionals of course, to help us come up with an answer.
We scaled up and down the country, begging and pleading, and all we could manage to find was an ex-university lecturer. I am joking. We got some of the top professionals and we are going to share what they had to say on the matter with you tonight, you lucky things.
Very lucky indeed. And don't forget, you can join in the discussion either on Facebook or Twitter, #411, and let us know what you think.
And if you're lucky enough, we may even read your tweets live on air.
But first, let's start with some facts about YouTube for all of you that are not so up to date. Just like her. I went out and did some research and found out some quite interesting facts.
So, when was YouTube actually created?
2005. I guess that's fact number 1 for you guys. Here are an extra 5. The top 5 facts about YouTube. The first ever YouTube video was uploaded by its co-founder and it was titled Me at the Zoo. 4 billion videos are watched every day. You can watch hundreds of thousands of full-length programs and movies on YouTube. YouTube is the 3rd most viewed website after Google and Facebook. The most watched video of all time is Psy, Gangnam Style.
4 billion videos! Oh my god, that is incredible.
Looking much better, Amyrose. And yeah, YouTube is kind of a big deal, you know.
Oh yeah, I know. I've uploaded videos there myself.
What kind of videos?
Me singing, obviously. Any minute now, someone will come across my video and sign me to their record label.
Slow down there, Amyrose. I've heard you sing and you are no Justin Bieber.
Well, he was first discovered on YouTube. And besides which, you are no X Factor judge, so I'm going to let the pros decide about my singing.
We're going off topic, we have a show to do.
But you haven't had the latest preview of my album. No? Maybe later on in the show? Okay, well, I suppose we better tell them about when I went to the London College of Communications to interview Richard Stacey.
Who's Richard Stacey?
He is a social media consultant and he had a lot to say on the matter about YouTube and TV. Let's take a look.
Thank you very much for meeting us today. Like, how do you think YouTube will develop sort of in the next 5 to 10 years? And how do you think this is going to affect TV?
YouTube is trying to turn itself almost into a channel, whereas that's actually not how the users actually want to use YouTube. So if you really want to understand what YouTube should be focusing on, actually, it's going back to what it set out to do. And it was set out because 2 guys realised that there are people taking home videos at Thanksgiving, I think, and they said, but how do you share video? So they said, let's set up a site to share video, right? So that's ultimately what YouTube is about doing. It's just about sharing video. So, and it's kind of really, YouTube in many ways is just what happens when the social media revolution hits video content. So, because it's just become the way that facilitates that. So, I mean, it for sure is going to be around. It's not going to go away. But there may be some tensions that emerge because of how the YouTube people are trying to make it work in order to generate the maximum amount of revenue, or the Google people, because Google own YouTube. And the other one about the future, it's the future of TV itself, or how's it going to shape the future of TV. It's not really YouTube that's doing this. Again, YouTube is just what happens when the social media revolution hits video. So, and what happens when the social media revolution hits anything is that it creates a separation between what was the means of distribution and the content itself. So what it's allowing is YouTube is allowing video content to go and do whatever it wants to do. So kind of almost the concept of TV is actually disappearing, because TV was all about, it's a distribution mechanism. So, but distribution mechanisms aren't important anymore. It's content itself that is now controlling what happens, not YouTube, not TV, not Vimeo, not anything. Content is now determining the future.
So, do you think that YouTube will be the future or the death of TV?
Well, the thing that will be the death of TV is the social media revolution, and YouTube is kind of the vanguard of that. But the interesting thing really is that you can't. What will change is that we're not going to classify things as being TV or being YouTube, because TV and YouTube is what I call a distribution-based way of looking at the world. What's going to happen is the world of video is going to be classified according to types of content and usage. So that's actually the future way of understanding and looking at TV. What's going to really die is this idea of classifying video content according to channel, i.e. TV, YouTube, whatever. So, I mean, it's, and the social media revolution, it's a big thing, it's changing everything it's touching, from video to everything, to news to information. So.
Richard definitely thought that YouTube was just a distribution mechanism.
Yeah, he also thought that YouTube was part of this new media revolution.
To see the whole interview, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The 411 Show.
Well, whilst you were off having fun at the LCC, I was down at Pinewood Studios.
What? Actual Pinewood Studios, where they filmed James Bond and Harry Potter.
Yep, we even got a tour of the place.
That is so unfair. Why was you there? And where was my invite?
Well, I went to interview Jeremy Michaels, and sorry, Amyrose must have got lost in the post. But let's take a look at what he had to say. Hi Jeremy, thank you for meeting with us today.
My pleasure.
We're a little bit interested to find out what you do here. So what do you do here at Pinewood Studios?
I joined 4 months ago today as Head of Business Development, and my role is very much about expanding on the traditional facilities and services that we offer to film and TV content producers, both in terms of additional services and products, and also catering more for online and digital content producers.
Do you think that the rise of YouTube and on-demand services will have any negative or positive effect on TV studio production, such as at Pinewood?
I think it's really interesting where YouTube has reached as a business. Firstly, I find it amazing to think that YouTube is less than 10 years old, and in that period of time has established itself as a brand.
2005, 2006 was when it launched, I think.
Yeah. I think the fact that it's a brand Noma now, so it's firmly established itself within its sector. Although there are notable competitors out there, the likes of Dailymotion. I think that's significant. I think the interesting thing is that YouTube and its competitors are starting to learn some of the key lessons from more traditional broadcasters, the way that they use studio space, the lessons involved in creating compelling short form content. I overall see it as a positive that YouTube is successful, that more people are able to find different routes to market. But I think at the point that any online content producer is successful, they have to sit up and take notice and understand, particularly on the business side, what the commercial model is, and understand how to monetize that content.
So do you think because it's easy to make YouTube videos and it's easy to upload online that people are doing more of that now than trying to get into production and the TV side, because it's easier for them to just go straight online?
Yeah, I think it's easier as a young or first time content creator to cut out any of the intermediaries that used to be needed in terms of getting content out there. So in terms of that distribution platform, I think that's a fantastic thing.
The Broadcast Audience Research Board statistics have shown decrease in daily viewing figures across terrestrial channels. Do you feel that this could be largely attributed to an increase of people watching TV online?
I think it's possible. I think there are a number of different activities that are competing for eyeballs today, from social media to the use of handheld devices for a whole array of things. I think there is a generational shift going on. I know that that in my generation, that transition from a landline phone to a mobile, do you always have a landline phone in your home, is being repeated today in terms of not necessarily paying for a pay-TV subscription. But I think a lot of the studies that I've seen have found that online TV tends to be additive. It'll be interesting to see how second screen technology and the use of that continues to impact viewing. But from what I've seen, the future of TV is still fairly robust and healthy. Advertising revenues remain pretty substantial. Linear viewing figures, whilst they're decreasing slowly, it's only tailing off a small amount. And the research that I've seen suggests that by 2020, still 75% of traditional viewing will be linear and or catch-up. So it's worth remembering that some of these changes are still marginal.
In your opinion, do you think YouTube is either the future or the death of TV?
I personally don't think that TV will die in my lifetime. I think that TV, as once we knew it, has died a death. But I think YouTube's in danger, almost controversially, of being the past rather than the future. And I think what's really exciting with the new waves of digital convergence that are coming through is the next wave of entrepreneurs and the true interaction of social media and TV that could, in a few years' time, see us talking about companies that can genuinely rival YouTube.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Jeremy. It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure was all mine. Thank you.
I cannot believe that YouTubers can use Pinewood Studios to film. How exciting!
Yeah, they're all up for helping up-and-coming filmmakers.
I do agree with him though. There's always going to be a place for TV, even if the way we watch TV isn't the same.
And did you hear him say that YouTube will die soon, that entrepreneurs will come up with a new rival medium? How controversial.
Yeah, very controversial indeed. But I'm still so jealous that you got to go to Pinewood Studios. I could have potentially run into Tom Hardy.
You could have, and whilst you think about Tom Hardy, I'm going to pop over to Studio 2 where we have a live panel waiting for us to help us with our question.
Okay, well I hope you have a good time and don't get lost around the studios because we all know how big the studios can be. And while she does that, why don't we take a look at what happened when our Offset reporter, Taylor, went to meet with the YouTube group, the RH Experience.
We're going to go down to London South Bank to have a chat with the RH Experience comedy group. The RH Experience was born in London, and primarily they do live improv stand-up shows, which consists of all their comedy being made up on the spot.
Well, if you've got a question for Catherine of Aragon, which sounds a bit like a made-up name, I wish your was as big as his.
Or that time when I lost my car keys and I asked you to find them and you came back with the lost city of Atlantis.
Oh! The RH Experience are also very popular on YouTube, creating fantastic quality short films, all of which are improvised right on the spot.
This is f***ing weird, man.
Tea, bourbon, custard cream.
So we went to have a chat with them about YouTube and the future of television.
It's a good platform, I think. It's been a platform for what we do, for whether we're doing our live improv that we do in gigs on the live circuit in London, or whether we're doing sketches online. It's a place to put it. So it's a platform to put that and,
I mean,
and
without
showcase it.
Without it, you'd just be putting it on tape and showing it to your family.
Exactly, which is what we used to do.
It's basically
which is what all three of us used to do.
I still do. My mum doesn't know what YouTube is, so I tend to record everything
Put
to
them on
VHS.
video, and then at Christmas go,
Yeah.
right, Mum, you ready to watch this year's video? It's all of the YouTube videos.
It's 4 hours long. Yeah. I think it's really awesome because the amount of people that everyone on YouTube is a creative person. Well, most of the people on YouTube are creative people, and it's just wonderful to meet all these really lovely people who want to make stuff and do stuff all the time. And like that's what it's all about.
It's like being in the Masonic Lodge of the online world. Like there's all so many different
That
people
is exactly.
with
You took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
It's the Freemason.
It's delicious!
How I got these stars.
45 in the Big Brother house, and Tim is sitting on a chair.
If I had a wife the boat of my life, I'd tell you what I would do. I'd buy her a boat. You don't have any friends, and no one likes the R8s.
Your lips are special.
There's no rules on YouTube, is there? You can do whatever you want. There's no big television boss going, right, you got to do this. I only want you to do this. That's how television bosses talk. So if you've got,
cigars.
yeah, I want you to do this, okay? No other way. But if you're on YouTube, if you want to set up a channel all about gardening and hedges, then you can do that. And Tom did that, and it's doing really well. Not doing too well, but you can do that. There's that freedom and creativity to do so.
For a gardening channel, it's immensely well subscribed.
6 subscribers.
And it is the most subscribed gardening channel in the world.
I set up the channel all about when you buy yogurt.
Yeah.
And you lift up the lid and all the yogurt's on the lid.
Yes, yeah.
It's a channel where I exclusively just lick the
lids. That's good, man. Do you actually eat the yogurt in the pot, or is it just the lids?
No, I throw that. I give that to someone else who's got
Throw
a
that
channel
away.
where they eat the
And the yeah. And you don't get boats on the television. We get that on YouTube.
There's no boats on TV.
No,
That's a
no boats.
fact.
You never noticed.
Even in
but if you
Titanic.
watch, yeah,
that wasn't.
no. It's a film. I think so, because the whole thing these days is that people don't have like without sounding terribly like oh, I'm too busy to watch television. Like a lot of people don't commit to TV schedules anymore. Back in the day, you could sit down and watch television at Saturday at 7 o'clock, and that was fine. But nowadays, it's kind of like we don't work around television. Television, well, whatever you watch works around you. So if you get home at 11 o'clock at night, you're like, right, I'm going to watch that program. Then the helicopter will turn up.
Yeah, that's me getting my. I'm going to head back and watch TV, guys.
But yeah, so it's a lot of we don't work around TV. TV works around us, sort of thing. Now, so the stuff we want to watch is on demand. I think that's where everything's going, and the fact that YouTube is on demand is kind of what you want these days.
I can't remember the last time I turned on a TV.
No, I mean, well, I do have the TV on, but I don't sit down to watch anything. It's only if I turn it on and something's on. It's kind of, whether it's YouTube, it's like, right, I'm going to go on YouTube and watch House of Cards or Project Library, or I'm going to sit down and watch that when I want on my time. So
I always watch it on someone else's time.
Yeah, someone else's time. Yeah, you always come round and think, man, I'm just going to watch Project Library. I'm like, Connor, too.
Countdown online. Everyone seems to be upping their game, whatever that means to them. They've raised the bar, and suddenly, if you make short films, you're actually an entire kind of film crew in yourself. And if you make sketches, then you've got to have someone else writing it all for you because you're not funny enough. And if you write songs, then everything's auto-tuned. So basically, eventually, I see that all the people on YouTube won't actually be the people you're watching. They'll all be voiced and acted by someone else.
Like being a creative crew.
And run by an entirely different website. So eventually, we're all going to be on another website that's run by another website. That's the future of YouTube.
Yeah.
As for us, we'll be dead.
Nice.
Thanks, Tom. Cheers. Anything to add on that, or just
No,
nice?
you covered
Could you
it.
look at camera next time and just go nice?
You covered it. You covered it all, guys. I think.
Cool. Covered it up.
I'm joined here in Studio 2 by 4 professionals. We've got Taylor Pelling over here, Nick Hawkins, Johnny Garber, and Mark Stapleton. Thanks for joining us today, guys. Our main focus today is whether YouTube is the future or the death of TV. But before we get to that, let's find out a bit more about our guests. Let's start with you, Taylor. What do you do?
I'm a YouTube video blogger. I've been doing it for 3 years since I started university. I occasionally make the odd sketch and that, so yeah.
And Nick?
I'm a YouTube short filmmaker. I make various short films on YouTube. Been doing it for about 5 years now, since I was 16 in secondary school.
Fair enough. Johnny?
I'm a post-production producer for a company called the Farm Group.
Yeah. And Mark?
I'm a theatrical film distributor working sales for Universal Pictures.
Right, thanks guys. I'm going to throw you a big question now, so it's quite a long one as well. Do you think the rise of YouTube and on-demand services will have any negative or positive effects on TV studio production? Let's cut straight to you, Johnny, because you're in TV production.
Well, I'd say positive effects is like talent-wise, because it kind of gives like YouTube and things like that give an opportunity for a lot of people like yourself to kind of start up and get spotted and get exposure, and then maybe go into TV, which is obviously like the more talent and new ideas coming into TV, the better. Like online stuff where it's just a bit more convenient for people doing that than kind of watching TV.
Definitely.
I think convenience is a big part of why a lot more people are like sorting to watch YouTube around. There's not many people have time sort of nowadays to fit traditional TV schedules into, you know, their lifestyles or routines. Everyone's busier.
Do you guys have any negative things to say about YouTube compared to TV studio production?
Sometimes it can be too much on YouTube.
Too much?
Yeah, so if you're trying to look for something, there'll be far, far too much stuff. You'd have to sift through a lot of quite bad stuff before you find good stuff.
That's fair enough.
TV's like that though, I think, as well. Like, I think there's like loads of TV channels and most of it's...
Yeah, you've got all the high numbers, so you just start going above 100 on like the Virgin channels or something.
Well, the amount of product or media rather on the internet and on YouTube affect the creativity in the traditional media, perhaps. I think when there's that much more competition for it, it's going to be harder to get funding in your traditional methods, essentially.
And because the people do really, I think that's the thing with like YouTube and a lot of kind of smaller productions now, people get like kind of technology, and let's say people getting the opportunity to actually do quite like decent standard stuff. And even kind of TV, they're kind of trying to make it almost seem a bit more. They either go really high on it and they do like Downton Abbey and make it look really glossy, or they'll even go back and try and make things look a bit more stripped back, which I think is like a reflection on the whole kind of YouTube documentary, like stuff like The Office and things like that. I think.
Trying to sort of make it a bit minimalist and.
Yeah, I guess so. And it's just cheaper, isn't it? It's just easier to go down that avenue if you haven't got the budget.
There's a lot of money in TV, and for YouTube,
but it's not evenly distributed. Like for the one show that might have, you know, a huge budget, there's other ones that are really kind of like will struggle. It's like what I was saying, the competition. In some ways, it's good because, you know, everyone's got to raise their game in a sense.
And this is quite a unique market in the UK because we've got the licence-paying BBC, which I think isn't in any other country, and that's constantly under scrutiny, especially with all the scandal this year, or last year rather.
Yeah.
And advertising revenues are decreasing in for ITV and the other main broadcasters.
YouTube and websites such as Netflix, that their series on YouTube and Netflix that are only on those shows, do you think that's going to be more the future, the future generation? Like, series are going to be more online rather than...
It's very, very early days at the minute. They're just starting to roll them out, so I think they will be doing more of it.
Yeah.
It's like the new box set, isn't it? It's like the new, you know, like had DVDs for a bit. That was the thing where, like, I remember when I was at uni, everyone had box sets of DVDs, and it was that was the thing. And now it's more like the online stuff.
Yeah.
But it's almost like everything's now the straight to DVD, but it's a DVD. It's like online, so it's. I don't know if it's like the long-term future, but it seems like the immediate future. That's where it's going, but. Everything always changes, like. Yeah.
I think demand's taken off at a really high rate, and it's not slowing down anytime soon.
Yeah.
Like that's, I think, also again why sort of like I don't want to see BBC go away. I don't really watch live TV much.
Yeah, Nick, do you think because people don't have time anymore, it's easier just to go online, even with shows on the BBC, ITV, Channel 4, it's easier just to go online on your iPad and watch on the go?
Yeah, it's a lot easier rather than planning your evening around watching something on TV at, say, at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're going to be doing in the evening most of the time.
Exactly.
So it's easier just once you've done everything, I'm going to watch this now, and you don't have to plan around it.
So finally, I'm just going to open this to the floor. Is YouTube the future or the death of TV?
I think it's got a big future, but I don't think it's going to replace TV. I think it will work along. It will be alongside TV. I think it's got too far to go to completely replace it. It will go some way towards it, and you'll see YouTube becoming more like TV in some respects, but not completely replacing it at all.
Yeah, I agree with. I think it's not as black and white as that. It's just a different format. It's almost like when you look at like cinema and TV. People probably thought at some point TV was going to be the death of cinema, but cinema becomes something else, and the cinema becomes more about the kind of spectacle. And maybe that's the thing with TV. It's got to eventually it's just a different format. It doesn't mean that one thing's. I don't think TV's going to die because of it, but I do think it will go from strength to strength on demand stuff.
Yeah, I think TV will be here for a very, very long time. It's very easy to put on. You come home, you put on the TV. You don't even necessarily watch it, but you still have it on in the background. I think YouTube does have a long way to come yet, because you still have to log in onto your iPad, laptop, PC before you can actually view anything. You've got to search for what you want.
I definitely think that YouTube. I think it's sort of forced its own platform in the market. It's not going to go anywhere. And if anything, it's shown an example to us of how these kind of websites sort of like with the youth of today. I think it's becoming more and more popular to sort of watch content and consume content on YouTube. I think TV will still be around, and obviously that will get better with like 8K and 4K, you know, when they reel it in. They just really sort of need to give them a kick up the bum to the TV people to sort of roll out that technology as soon as possible.
Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. You've all given great answers to help with our question. I'll see you back in the studio in a sec, Amyrose.
Thank you, Denisa. I will see you back here very soon. And thanks to all of our special guests for their insight into our discussion. Also, if you were interested in the RH experience, make sure you subscribe to their YouTube channel. Or, better yet, you can go and see them in central London for free, where they create live improv shows. Me and Denisa went to see them live, and they were brilliant. For all the details, please go to our website, www.the411show.co.uk, and follow all of the links.
Hey, what are you talking about?
The RH experience.
Oh, they were brilliant, weren't they?
Yeah, I was just saying that. So, Denisa, do you think that YouTube is the death or the future of TV?
Well, if you listen to everyone who we asked had to say on the matter, they think there's a place for both TV and YouTube. But TV on demand is taking over live TV. But technically, that's not YouTube, is it?
Yeah, I agree.
And YouTube really is just a platform to help people like Nick on our panel. Now he has a place to display all his work.
Yeah, and like me with my singing.
Yes, and you with your singing.
Don't you worry, I will keep you updated on my singing career, and I will thank you in my award speech.
Aw, thank you. That'd be great.
You are so welcome. But for now, let's wrap up the show.
But before we do that, let's take a look at what all you guys had to say on the matter.
We had such a great response, so thank you all so much for your messages. I have a tweet here from Melissa who says, I don't think it's the death of TV, but I do spend a lot of time on YouTube watching both TV programmes and YouTubers.
Thanks for that, Melissa. I have one here from Michael Smith who tweeted, YouTube is the future and it has a lot more to offer. I'm always on YouTube 24/7.
Keep the discussion going, guys. We love hearing what you've got to say. But that's all we've got time for today.
So it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.